Hey guys, and welcome to this episode of Behind the Closed Doors. Now, in yesterday's episode, you saw me panning around the flea market, and although the image stabilization is quite good in this camera, it was not perfect. So today, we're going to try to solve that. So join us in today's episode of Behind the Closed Doors. Hey, anyway, what are we going to do first?
We have to bring back the boat.
Oh.
And because it doesn't fit my huge car, we have to screw off the pedals.
Okay, so I'm going to help you with that.
Yes, please.
So I can't film. Okay, we're back in the studio from Camera Nu, and what I wanted to buy was actually the feiyu-tech stabilizer, the gimbal. We tried 3, none of them worked the way that it's supposed to be. We had this weird sound and it didn't want to balance, so Brian from Camera Nu is now actually trying out what the problem is. I'm back in the studio to do some retouching, and maybe we get a call that it works, and otherwise we have to look at another brand, because I do want to get the images a little bit more stabilized for you guys, because otherwise, well, when moving around it feels a little bit too shaky for my taste. So let's hope they call and they found a solution. But up until then, it's retouching time. Oh, and by the way, you know I'm filming in sLog lately, and I think I have to stop with that again, and I will explain to you why. The last few videos I already found that my autofocus was a little bit slower than what I'm used to from the A7R II and from the 6500. sLog of course works on contrast, and that means that if you lower the contrast in the scene, meaning you make a gamma that's actually putting everything in the middle, and that's what sLog does, you of course also take away contrast. And contrast is actually where sLog excels, because there is no contrast, which you can later add in post, but it's where the autofocus works. The more contrast in the scene, the easier it is for the autofocus. So I think that's the problem. The other thing I experience with sLog is actually this. Sometimes I love to monitor my whole setup on my iPhone, and I'm actually now using a mirror behind the camera because this is shot on sLog. Now, on the remote control, or in other words, Play Memory, the app from Sony, sLog also doesn't work. You can choose every other setting, but you cannot choose a picture style. If you want to choose a picture style, you have the choice of toy camera, vivid, so all the consumer stuff. So I hope that in an update Sony is listening and they will add sLog to the remote control, because then I can actually see if I'm in focus or not. So sLog, love it. Still gonna use it for some scenes, but most of the vlog will be filmed again in probably the cinema setting, because there's some contrast in there and the autofocus works pretty well. It's a shame actually, but hey, it's how a camera system works. And let's be honest, most scenes, you look at the back of your screen or the viewfinder and you can actually tap for focus, or you can do other stuff. It's just the scenes where the camera is pointed at me. And do you really need a vlog in sLog? I don't know. For the talking head shots, no. And in Final Cut Pro, I can just select the scenes I want in sLog and add sLog to those scenes. So it's not a real big deal, but it would be cool if everything could be sLog, because then if you import it in Final Cut, you just select everything, put sLog in there, and just look at all the scenes separately and do your adjustments. But hey, we'll work with it. Because the benefit of the 6500 and the A7R II in video is just way too big over the other cameras we used. So, well, it's just another hurdle you have to take when you want to create a vlog. Okay, in between I recorded a quick video for our digital classroom hints and tips, or tips and tricks, or techniques, or whatever you want to call it. And that was actually about workflow, so I'm going to try to upload that one today. Okay, I'm done with the retouching from this weekend's workshop, and that was actually the second day of the ultimate weekend, and here are the results. So I love the one with the boat. The duo shoot between Stefan and Ingrid. And on social media these images look way better, by the way, but just gonna show you very quickly what we do. This is for our makeup artist, Krista. Love this one. This was more like an ice queen. Played around a little bit with lighting and effects, as you can see here, a little bit more of a vignetting. The wide angle and the loom cube is so awesome for this. It gives you a lot of light and you can really greatly combine it with strobes. And the final one, Stefan in solo. Okay. So next up some other chores and then home. And I hope I can enjoy a few days off after that. Okay, we're done with everything and this also concludes today's episode of Behind the Closed Doors. I wish I could have shown you guys the stabilization of the feiyu-tech, but well, we didn't hear back from Camera Nu yet, so I guess they also didn't get it to work. And that's a shame because I was really looking forward to that one. So, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you do, please subscribe and share and like and whatever you can do to promote our channel. And of course, look for the special episode of Digital Classroom in which I tell you all about my workflow, which is also on this channel, of course. Hey, see you next time. Bye bye.